For all the YouTube people who are hopping into this new part, welcome. In the last video, we've unified West. We beat the AB in the EuroLeague. The Orenburg community is a little screwed right now, but we got 3 out of 4, sort of, or 1 out of 2, however you want to phrase it. We got one of them, and now I have no idea what the Aryan Brotherhood is about to do. They took one path, jackboot. Status quo. The other path they're taking, Hyperborea. So I don't know what's going to happen. How's England? I wouldn't know. Oh, you mean in TNO. You mean in TNO. Okay, let's see. I think they went Jellicoe. No, they went Macmillan. Right, they went Macmillan. Fun stuff. A little different. That's right, I forgot about that. I think they went Jellicoe in the Brazil game I just finished recording. That's why I got mixed up. Let's get the Shield of the People. Defending the Russian people, the people of Russia, from countless harm they could potentially encounter in this cruel warlord era was one of the existing goals that brought our state into existence in the first place. Now that we control a much larger portion of this broken country than before, this noble mission has only grown even more important since those hard days in the wake of the West Siberian People's Republic's collapse. To that end, we must never forget our original mission and work to ensure that our people remain safe no matter how bad the going gets. Fortifications will be constructed in our home territories to help deter possible potential invaders, and a large range of improvements to our defensive strategies have already been proposed in the interest of minimizing civilian suffering. There we go. Let's get some... That was for bombers. It's not exactly what I meant to do. I meant more of this. But I guess we have the some bomber stuff we want to get working on that. Which I think I'm good for now, but we can get working on more welfare programs. Environmental subsidies will be nice as well. Adjustable expertise going up is always nice to see. Agriculture, research facilities. I think it's education. That's boosted by the next thing. Yeah, education. And then it's also research facilities, but we'll just take that when time comes. My birthday's in 4 days. Happy, very early birthday. You got any plans for it? I mean, it's California, so I know we're still sort of in lockdown, but I also know it's Orange County, and I know they don't give a shit down there. So, shit, what, do you have any plans? What do you think about doing? Let's approach the Eagle. The United States of America is one of the foremost powers on the face of the earth, rivaling both Japan and Germany in terms of influence and military strength. Given Russia's precarious situation between the large two powers, being on both their borders, sharing 2 of the largest land borders with both superpowers of any nation on the planet, it follows that the U.S. would have a vested interest in our continued security and prosperity. Therefore, we should endeavor to endear ourselves to Washington, if for no other reason, to open the door for potential further agreements. I'm having a few friends over, that's about it. The unvaccinated ones will be wearing masks. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I'm glad I got my vaccine just so I'm ready for things to go back to normal. I think I told my vaccination story on here a few times. It was funny. I wasn't planning, and I got my vaccine, my second dose in April. And I think they opened it up for everyone in California around May-ish. So how did I get it early, you might be wondering. I was grocery shopping. I was at the milk section. I was getting some milk. And a guy from the pharmacy walks up to me and asks me, "Excuse me, sir, have you gotten your COVID shot yet?" And I tell him, "No, I have not." He asked me, "Would you be interested in getting it?" I mean, I wouldn't mind if I got one. Well, we have 5 vaccines that are about to expire in an hour and a half, and we want to get them all out if we can. You want one? Fuck yeah, I do. So I finish up my grocery shopping, put my groceries in my car. Ooh, America wants to recognize us. That's very nice. And then I go over, fill out some paperwork, sit for a while, and I get a free shot that I wasn't even planning on getting. And then I tell that story to my grandma. And a couple of my family members are talking about getting their vaccine because things are opening up. And most of the other places are saying, you know, there's a wait line. And so my grandma tells him, oh, tell him, go to this pharmacy. Chance got his there pretty quick. They call him, and they get the dose the very same day they call. Funny how that works. Funny how that works. Let's go with established consulate. Our initial meeting with the United States went well. They seemed receptive enough to our delegation. We even managed to fit in some preliminary talks on what form their support of our nation might take if they were to aid us. Given the reasonable success our ventures had, we should request that we be allowed to establish a consulate in Washington. This consulate should act as a venue through which we might negotiate economic and military pacts even with the government of the United States, and even establish some less than official contacts in North America. There we go. Yeah, that's my vaccine story. Salazar is dead. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun how it all worked out. We can get some stuff in Vorkuta. I'm almost tempted to get more dockyards, honestly. Although I think for now, we have plenty of civilian factories, which is great. I have not had this many civilian factories. Well, I didn't have them in the last game. Let's get all this up to 7 infrastructure. Spear? Oh shit, they just killed him. Fuck. Damn. Usually he just disappears, but no, they fucking killed him. Damn. Really not trust moving off the COVID shot, but wait, let's try to offer the flu shot. I don't know why. I don't know. Diplomatic success. I kinda get that. I get where you're coming from there. Dragunov's connections. Though we may harbor some personal objections against Yevgeny Dragunov and his past dealings with our enemies, there's no denying the utility of his impressive array of foreign contacts and connections, many of which he has retained since Litost fell. We should call in Dragunov and see if he can come to a mutually beneficial agreement. We'll drop any and all charges against him from his time as an arms dealer and leader of Litost. And he will help us breach into the new market and set up trade agreements through his various foreign contacts. Win-win situation. Improved academic base. Primary schooling, there we go. That's the same event as last time, so pause at home if you want to read it, or just go roughly to the same corresponding video. It'll probably be somewhere in there where I read it. Surely we'll benefit from these tactics. Only time will tell, I guess, but yeah. Advanced developmentals. Oh, hell yeah. Making sure the door was locked behind him, Boris Yeltsin waltzed into the fancy bathroom. Having to get out that boring trade meeting, Boris always remembered to have his contingency vodka bottle for a thing like this. Unfortunately, the bathroom wasn't unoccupied, as an aide stood by the sink washing his hands. The two met eyes, and the aide looked down at the bottle of vodka Yeltsin was holding. Yeltsin stuttered, unable to speak much English. Not exactly knowing how to get out of this one, Yeltsin shrugged, smiled, and produced a second shot glass. The aide looked at the glass, appearing to debate on whether to take up on Yeltsin's offer, Yeltsin poured the vodka into the glasses, and the aide, seemingly made up his mind, picked up the shot glass and smiled. "Cheers," he said before downing the glass. A few shots later, the two went back to the trade conference, the aide sitting down next to the senator representing the Americans at the meeting. The necessary papers had finally arrived, so the time came to sign the dozen or so pages in front of Yeltsin. Finishing with the fourth page, Yeltsin heard the senator say something in English to his translator. "Senator Fulbright wants to ask how many shots his aide got to before giving up, Mr. Yeltsin." Red-faced, Boris sheepishly gave his response to his translator. 2, and they weren't filmed to the brim either. The senator broke out into laughter and spoke to his translator again. "Next time you go out for a drink with my boy Bill Clinton here, have him make me proud by drinking 4 like a real man." "Sure will, but not in the bathroom next time." There's there is a Japan rework on the map, which is good because Japan is a little broken right now. They have 2 functional paths. Takagi's path is broken, from my understanding, so there's only one that really works. From my understanding, the coding process and everything behind it was a clusterfuck and disaster. It's a miracle they got something out of it that was even roughly salvageable. Well, we really don't have much in the way of political power, jeez. We only have an elite-only education system. That's weird. What if we were in a video game and countries just randomly got reworks, patches, and updates? That'd be interesting. I think it's the same. Yeah, it looks like the same. So pause if you want to read it. He's still some use, I'm sure. And yeah. Let's tap in the markets. We need access to more markets. Not only do we want to be able to sell our wares and natural resources, but we also want to be able to tap on foreign goods and investments. We'll need to front an all-out diplomatic assault. We'll have diplomats in every nation in Central Asia, in India, Africa, South America, and anywhere else with easily accessible markets. We'll attempt to create trade agreements, economic treaties, and lower tariffs with as many nations that will let us as possible. Let the money flow. I have actually not played Thousand Week Reich yet. It's something I've been meaning to play. It's just I've been busy with school up until a little less than a month ago, so I haven't had time to play much of anything else. And so I mainly just play stuff from my YouTube, and my main YouTube thing is TNO. So I've stuck with TNO more or less throughout. It seems like an interesting one, though. I have been meaning to give it a shot. It just hasn't worked out quite yet. I think I'm gonna be playing Red Flood. I think it's Red Flood. The one with the accelerationist and all the crazy fucking paths. I think I'm playing that one somewhat soon. I'm planning on it, at least. So that would be fun. Okay, let's go into the world. We've made great progress in bringing our nation onto the world stage. Not only have we gained recognition in the eyes of several nations abroad, but we've strengthened our economic relations and overall strength as a nation in Russia. Our path to unification will be greatly eased by the connections we've now established. The greater Russian economy will surely be stronger for our efforts in opening up new markets. The world watches as a new power rises in Russia. Let's not disappoint. No master but the Aryan. They still gotta finish this up eventually, right? Yeah, my main apprehension of Red World is I don't know where to start. Because, Jesus fuck, where do you fucking start with that? should have gone to get water over the gap of recording. Great conspiracy. We'll wait and see what happens there. I'll pour what's left in this bottle into the other one. See what happens. Right. For Red Flood, I've heard... Oh no, I've heard they're getting a rework, though. I'll just pour a little water that's in there yet left into the world. Oh! One Savory Buzz, thank you for the host. I appreciate it. I very much appreciate that. Let's go ahead and screw this cap back on. That fucking damn it fell. Let's see, France is good. I was thinking, because I know there's like a Ayn Rand path that I think I remember. It looks pretty wacky. That might be fun. And there's crazy shit like Finland, where you try to take over Egypt and get cores on it and declare yourself a pharaoh. Just a bunch of wacky shit like that. It looks fun. Some of my followers will give you some well-deserved attention. We'll wait and see. We will wait and see. I forget if I'm following you on Twitch. Yeah, Ayn Rand's in there. I remember that. I might do Ayn Rand, because that seems kind of funny. So let's get the best and brightest going. If the past 1,000 years of history has taught us anything, it's that better technology almost always wins. Whether it be Ottoman cannons besieging Constantinople, British riflemen colonizing Africa, or a single German bomber ending World War II in one fell swoop, we've seen time and time again the advantage that better technology gives us over our enemies. Arguably, what's even more important is the effect technology can have on one's own nation as well. The Industrial Revolution boosted the economic output of Great Britain 100 times over, made agricultural goods easily transportable, and raised millions out of poverty. We must seek the best and brightest in our nation and give them all the resources they need to bring Russia into the future. There we go. So we can go ahead. Advanced developmental subsidies. Seems like a pretty good one to go for. Always slowly improve poverty relief programs. How's our poverty rate going so far? It's okay. The poverty rate could always be going down quicker, though. And usually with the way Russia goes, and just the crap scenario it's in right now, the best we can really do is just do all of these over and over again, as much as we can, as far as I understand it. Same idea there. Let's see what's going over in USA. The NPP left is a little bit too big for comfort. Be right back, not a problem. Not a problem at all. Do whatever you gotta do. The NPP, yeah, they're a little bit too big right about now. The Reichsstadt is taking a while to fall apart. We're probably going to get African devastation, which is not going to be fun. Parents went out to dinner and brought me back a crab leg. Ooh, nice. Very nice. Best and the brightest. There we are. We could expand the bureau. We can get working on military stuff. I think let's go down to military stuff for now. Let's do Legacy of the Third Army. When we made our desperate escape from the tyrannical regime of Tsar Kaganovic and his republic, decorated Third Army formed the bulk of armed forces. Through thick and thin of brave men and women, the army led our stately from victory to victory, securing lasting peace for the people of West Siberia, with more conflicts on the horizon. The veterans of the Third will no longer have the opportunity to write even more hit chapters in triumphant history. The Third Army is more than just our most elite force. It's a heroic symbol for everything our new Red Army now stands for. The hefty legacy this army has already established shall serve the model for all our future armies to follow, with the Third becoming a bright, shining beacon of honor and discipline for our noble troops to aspire to. I'm thinking, do we want to try? Cut spending, that does nothing but reduce the big deficit we're stuck with. Jet engines, there we go. Get some better fighters going. Going into the world. So it looks like they went with Wagner. A little boring. Do you ever have a prisoner accepts as a little kid? Jesus Christ, unlimited work days, what the fuck? I don't know about as a little kid. Let me try to think. I remember really liking Lincoln when I was a kid. Maybe Lincoln. Maulding has been re-elected. Interesting stuff. Issue industry. Have they done anything with Wales? With Nixon just because he was referenced popular media? Oh yeah, Futurama, the head, Richard Nixon. Brr! Yeah, I think mine was probably Lincoln. Our officer corps has become widely renowned as the finest in Russia, but can the hundreds of thousands of troops that in command be held up to the same standard? The reforms made to the Army's training standards provide a devastatingly effective body of troops during the war against the revisionist and insidious Black League, but the reality is that the stakes have risen considerably since our victory, and even more powerful foes now surround us on all sides. Therefore, even more wide-ranging overhauls of a training regimen are to be enacted. Our troops, already in position of considerable skills, will be pushed to the very limits of our capabilities with a new series of recruitment standards and training routines. The Third Army shall transform into a crack force consisting of the cream of West Siberia's crop, the very best fighting men the region can muster. We simply cannot accept any less. I don't know why we're going so slow all of a sudden. Army professionalism about to go up. It's nice. Research facilities as well, sooner rather than later. Same focus as last time, so pause if you want to, or the same decision as last time, pause if you want to read it. So have a Third Army to protect the people. was low-key hoping to see Hyperborea pop up, because that would be wacky. Oh, they're reaching out to the Germans. I was thinking about playing both of them, like I'm doing with Sverdlovsk. I think Mocha Lovers already did that, MML, but one day. Let's get the Sverdlovsk tank factory going. Sverdlovsk tank factory is one of the largest tank factories still in operation in Russia, rivaled only by the Krasnoye Samorovo factory in the west. Unfortunately, the factory has suffered much damage from the dreaded Luftwaffe and the cruel bombing raids, and a large portion of its damage has gone without repair. The sorry state that the factory currently exists in is severely crippling its output, and something must be done if we wish to build a sizable force for the Red Army. Not only will the factory be repaired, but ambitious plans have been drawn up to extend the factory well beyond its original capacities. Should these plans be put into motion, the factories will find new life, and our military will finally be bolstered with a fearsome tank fleet with which to brush aside the enemies of Russia. I'm trying to think. I've played about just about every warlord in West Siberia that has content. I've done Samara, I've done Vyatka, I've done Komi. I didn't get a chance to look at that, but I'm pretty sure it's one of the same. The only two I haven't played yet are the Front, which I'm probably going to do based on how the poll's going, and the Aryan Brotherhood. Compare that. I played 2 of the 3 out of here, actually. Central Siberia, I've played Tomsk and Novosibirsk. That's really about it. The Far East, I've only really played Magadan. Why does shellfish taste so good? I'm not the biggest shellfish guy, actually. That's my problem. I realize that. I don't know. I haven't had much shellfish recently, so I can't really, let's improve training methods. Heck yeah. I don't have a good frame of reference. I just know that, I didn't like it when I was a kid, for whatever reason. I haven't tried it since. Damn, our political power is really low. I'm confused. I don't think I should have just randomly clicked that event. I might just be a little bit too used to skipping events right now. Let's expand the bureau. You've never eaten watermelon? Really? Interesting. Sverdlovsk Design Bureau has far and away outperformed every expectation we had of it when it first formed. The Bureau spearheaded development of on a variety of fronts, from the development of new standard rifle to novel research on transistor computation and how it can improve the efficiency of our current computers. Given the immense contribution this organization has made to both our national security and science as a whole, a raise in funding shouldn't be off the table. In fact, vastly increased budgetary needs of the Bureau as it expands and modernizes its research facilities alone should entitle to at least a 30 or 40% increase in budget. I'm trying to, eat healthy and all that. New, better army professionalism. Very, very nice. Sound of political interference now? Oh god, we're, political interference is fucking horrible for our political power. Jesus Christ. Why are we stuck on political interference? What the fuck? Is there anything else that boosts our, army professionalism? I think kind of randomly, fair enough. My guilt is that I'm still here. And that is my guilt. Franz Stangl. The whore. The whore. Man. Well, I don't know about Africa, but we're on the way to recovery. The politics and policies and investments we have made have begun to bear fruit. People are out and about on factory streets, spending money and using credit. Factories for the first time in decades have begun to manufacture goods and products wholly unrelated to warfare. The streets and rail lines connecting major cities and towns no longer break off in sections or have craters through them. Russians across the nation are experiencing a novel sensation, long thought forgotten. Russians are beginning to feel peace again. The geopolitics of Africa really... Yeah, they are. There's this YouTube channel I watch somewhat occasionally called New Africa, which kind of goes into all the complex stuff that goes into African politics. Only affects all those austerities, probably for the best, because those didn't do too much for us other than stint our economic growth. I was hoping they would do more, but it didn't really. Let's go ahead. Get some stuff going to Sabay. Yekaterinburg. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it or not. Oh yeah, I agree. I've been trying to get more into learning about history of all different types of places, and Africa's one of them that I don't know as much as I kind of wish I did. Because they only have so much time to teach you about the world history. We only spend a year on world history in America. At least in high school. And I took a few, I'm a history major in college, so I went a bit more depth in my class, but same sort of idea, just in a semester instead. So you don't get much time. A lot of it's colonial stuff. You get brief glances at stuff pre-colonialization, a little bit during colonization, and some stuff post. Liberia, yeah. Liberia is a weird one. I've looked into a lot of that, because that's connected for U.S. and our history. And it's crazy, the shit that's happened there. Let's look at quality materials before we continue talking about African history. What good is a tank if it cannot even withstand the most basic of modern anti-tank weaponry? The field of anti-tank munitions has advanced far, while Russia has been stuck in this mess, and much of these new weapons have rendered our armored forces completely helpless should our enemies begin to employ them. Luckily, there may be a stopgap solution while better tank designs are considered. By improving the quality of our metals our tanks are produced with, we may be able to increase their effectiveness against anti-tank weaponry. Regrettably, our current forces are mostly reliant upon vintage decades from last decade, but with newly available quality metals, a little creativity, we can help make additions to our armored tanks' armor layouts that enhance their survivability and keep them in the fight. One of my favorite is Central African Republic. I think it's around here. I think it's like here-ish. They had this guy who declared himself emperor after, modeled himself after Napoleon, It was not... Assassin, how are you doing? Nice to see you. So this guy in the Central African Republic declared that it was no longer the Central African Republic. It's the Central African Empire. Yeah, Bakassi. Bakassa, however you say it. Yeah. And he bankrupted his fucking country. He spent 1/4 of their GDP on a throne, this whole elaborate thing, a crown, chalices. He got the same uniforms from the same people who Napoleon got his uniforms from. It's fucking nuts. Looks like this is more or less the same. Goodbye, poverty. Yeah, I think that's more or less the same. Yeah, Bakassa. That colorful character. Your East African Federation, isn't that what they're trying to set up in this little region to have one big country? Isn't that what you're talking about? Because I think I do know that a little bit. Cold days. Go figure. These guys are not interested in making peace with us. Maybe when we started speaking German, we could have confused them. What's their army looking like so far? How much do the troops do they fucking have? What? Alright. You roll fortifications. Well, this will be interesting to see how it goes. Let's go and get some mechanized troop trainings. During the war with Kovanovic's revisionist, his large contingent of motorized forces proved a formidable obstacle for our troops, who mostly fought while slogging it out on foot to tackle. Although we've secured a hard-fought victory in the end, our foes have taught us an important lesson even in their defeat. Mechanization of the ground forces is an absolute necessity, and mechanized units lay the bedrock of any serious modern military. Comparatively, with what little mechanized forces we can possess, are woefully inadequate for the wars of tomorrow. In order to create a truly modern force, the army as a whole must begin to adopt new training methods focused on the practical use of highly mobile mechanized units, so that we may better acclimate our troops to the battlefields of the future. Yeah, I think I know the East African Federation. It's this possible state that they're thinking about forming. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. So, yeah, we got Totters over there. They're going all the way with LBJ. How's the communist support? It's at almost at 10%. I'm actually not that big a Star Wars fan, actually. Which is weird, because I like sci-fi. Mass Effect. Not a bigger hit to political power. Come on. Except like Mass Effect, I love. Get recon companies added in. But, Star Wars, not so much. Oh, nice. Shit, yeah. I forgot about that. Rokossovsky Military Academy. Konstantin Rokossovsky was more than just a general. He was the man who secured the safety of Sverdlovsk's people and heroically turned the table on the tyrants who oppressed them. Even now, the Line Superior's brilliant strategies have had a great deal of influence on our armies, and without his wise leadership, we wouldn't have achieved nearly the same level of success within and without. To honor the recently departed Marshal, the Rokossovsky Military Academy will soon open its doors in Sverdlovsk. This place of martial learning shall be the birthplace of Russia's new generation of officers, allow us to proudly continue our tradition of being the most capably led force in all of Russia, even as time relentlessly marches forward. Even Death Field Line shall forever guide and watch over the brave officers of the Red Army. played a little bit of LBJ. I'll be honest, I'm disappointed in his game because he doesn't have the cool set of mechanics that the US does. Everything just seems to be kind of passed automatically, and I think that's boring. So LBJ as a TNO president, I think he's boring. I'm more interested in Bennett, to play Bennett again. Or not again, to play Bennett than I am to play LBJ. So no Bennett at least has Senate mechanics he has to work with. There's a whole rocking the boat thing that you have to balance. Survey Western positions. Let's infiltrate their intelligence services, actually. And the amount of troops these guys apparently have. Oh, that's fucking insane. Not to mention the massive amount of manpower they have in conjunction with all that. Let's get anti-air going as much as we can. And then what could we use a bit more? Basic jet fighters, let's get those going. Let's get these guys deployed over Yule region. Can I just select one of these guys and move them over to, there we go. Oh, we can all just... I haven't played Stalina yet. Let's see, who have I played? I've played construction. Out of Komi, I have played... Let's build some in Sibay as well. I've played... I'm trying to go through it in order. Kosygin. I have played Bukarina, Sarov, Tabaritsky, and Zdanov. I've not played the Socdems, Stalina... Who are the others? Gimilov, Suslov, or Shafarvik. Let's go ahead and get factories in Tyumen. The region of Tyumen is a key industrial sector in West Siberia, but to say these factories are in a sorry state would be to put it mildly. The region suffered for many years under the mismanagement of Kaganovik's regime. The military has clearly paid a heavy price for the incompetence of a former tyrannical ruler. Final nail in the coffin came when the storms of war, which raised over the breadth of the Republic not too long ago. Now that they've been overthrown, we can begin repairing and expanding the factories of Tyumen to get them back into running order once again. Tyumen is an important keystone in the industry of West Siberia, and once it has been revived its former glory, our economy will surely benefit. Fingers crossed there. Yeah, no Stalina. Oh, yeah, Mr. Pete. The history professor, I love that dude. We'll go ahead, we'll prepare. And let's get air forces in Surgut. The vast majority of air facilities in West Siberia are now but bombed out husks of their former selves, thanks to relentless bombing campaigns unjustly raged upon us by the Hun. Surgut's airfields, however, are an entirely different story. Efficiently maintained by the formerly independent free aviators, these airfields are nearly in mid-condition and now make up some of the largest Russian air facilities still in operation. Now that the airfields have the weight of an entire nation behind them, we have the opportunity to expand and improve the airfields far beyond their previous capabilities to better serve our fledgling Air Force. So instead of cutting it off now, I'm going to go another 10 minutes. And then I'll end the video, and I'm probably going to end stream soon at the 10 minutes. And at 10 p.m., nice even time. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm so happy I've never had to deal with the AB before, because Jesus fuck. There's no Jesus in the Aryan Brotherhood. Right, pause if you want to read that one. He's either, long gone, or instead of Jesus, there's, whatever the fuck the Slavs used to believe before Jesus. Whatever the fuck Velamir's talking about. Let's get the experts of Zlatos going. Brilliant engineers of Zlatos are masters of craft, standing at the very forefront of arms production, even when compared to foreign designs. Their weapons can be found all throughout the broken nation of Russia, and with good reason. They're cheap to produce, reliable in the field, and they pack a serious punch. It's easy to see why the warlords of Russia would be willing to pay a king's ransom to get their hands on such weaponry. Perun! That's it, thank you. With Zlatos and its arms production facilities under our control, it would make a great deal of sense to continue funding of these arms designers. This time, however, they will serve as us rather than themselves. The Zlatos factory will help equip our military exclusively with some of the most cutting-edge weapons and equipment of the world, putting us leagues ahead of our other rivals. Very intense and unite Russia under his wing, and a speech delivered in Palace in Permheim says that the time has come for the Aryan race to begin the purge of Untermensch. That it began in 1941, and from the deluge of fire that will come, a new Russia will rise like a phoenix. Many leaders within Russia and abroad are in deep concern over these events due to Wagner's brutality and standing regional power. Numerous states are already drawing up plans to protect themselves in the event of war with Permheim. Representatives of the German government are unable to comment. Go figure. Madness has gripped Russia. Let's get air-land battles going. God. What crazy shit. This is crazy shit that we have to deal with. The expertise is low toast. Let's get some AKMs. Let's get some data cohesion going. And it's all the same. We had it before. Getting a little tired. My enthusiasm is going a little bit out the window. Which is why I'm trying to speed it up a little bit. Looks like Tomsk is pushing out a little bit. Which is good. Nice to see. If they've declared war. Flamethrowers. Well, I'll let them attack me first. There we go. Well, Holy shit, okay. They already lost 72,000 men from that. So, you know, I was worried about their professionalism. Or the size of their army, but it looks like they have reluctant conscripts. Like, what level is that? We have... Oh yeah, their army is dog shit, actually. I mean, they got a lot of troops, but go figured, when you're enslaved and told you're the Untermensch, you don't really want to fight it. So Reagan TNO 2. I don't think Reagan's gonna be in TNO at all, from what I've heard. Oh wow, yeah, they're making minor pushes, sure, but they've lost another couple thousand men. Oh yeah, Carter ought to be interesting. I'm curious what his content's gonna be like. Invincible legendary, very nice. They've already lost 250,000 men! I was worried for a second, and I'm not worried anymore. I'm curious, can we do... No, we can't quite do that yet. Saying we're good to attack right now. I don't think I will. I think I'll just let them bleed out. We've lost 32. We almost have a 1-to-10 ratio on these guys. Oh my god. These guys suck. They fucking suck. Oh my god. Says we're still preparing some divisions. Otherwise, we'd be good to attack, I think it said. Oh my god, we're bodying them and we're not even intending to. Civilian factories once again. Build some naval dockyards. Here and here. Why not? Get the new rifles ready to deploy. This is honestly... It's almost embarrassing for them. JFK Jr. I'm guessing he's only a child at this point. He probably does exist. I just don't know how relevant he'd be. Get better support weapons. I dare say we just try to push. I mean, we're doing okay. A couple of these places. We got encirclement off. Only another 5 minutes. Just because we're starting to realize that this war is going a lot easier than I expected it to. You guys stay there. Oh my god. These guys are like tissue paper. These guys are paper tigers if I've ever seen them. So much for that master race bullshit, huh? We'll save up for developmental subsidies. Quality over quantity, indeed. Are we taking Perm? This is just embarrassing at this point. I'm genuinely impressed how well this is going. Yeah, geez, it's 1 to 5 now. For KD ratios. Look at all of this. Let's get basic jet gas. Anything else we need to get resupplying? More convoys. There, construction. Wouldn't be alive in this timeline, which is weird. Why is that? Explain that to me. Let me... Oh, we gotta get research going right. Crisis in Nanjing. Uh-oh. What's that? These guys declared war on us. They figured they'd be ready and able to beat us. Oh, how wrong they were. How much cores? We finally have cores on all this, because I know their coring time is absolutely insane. I've immigrated to the U.S. from the Philippines because I often citizen change of service side in, I think, Vietnam. Okay, yeah. Well, I'm trying to think. There's, How would that ended up working. There's stuff in the Philippines where there's a U.S. contingency there. Hot Ottomans. Where they did a little... I'm just gonna keep going until I finish this war. Fuck it. The U.S. has holdouts there, so there might be some room for... We're out of manpower officially. Thing is, I can't imagine they actually do have manpower, but they're losing their troops so quickly it's not going to matter. I'm trying to think, because I know my grandma's Filipina. I think she was born, but her dad was over here before the Second World War, or any of that. Or he came in right about the time. She's almost 70, so she would have came in the 40s, 50s. Well, she was the youngest. Oh no. Is the internet really crapping out now? After so long? And it was all going so well too. God damn it. Is that going to be enough to take him out? Not quite. Oh, this is going to be such an anticlimactic way to end the stream. Just, I mean, we're going to finish the battle. Well, that was weird. But we came back at just the right time because they're dead. Go and get coring some stuff over here. Well, shoot. This is about as good a place as any to end off. Do we hit the button real quick? I think we hit the button. Look at that. We got the Russian flag. We got some cool stuff going. Well, there we go. And then we got the generic nuclear tree. Yeah, it was a bit of a bloodfest, admittedly. But I think it worked out in the end, ultimately. I think this is as good a place as any to end the stream. Since my internet's starting to be a little bit iffy, it might be a good time. Yeah, I had fun too. I enjoyed it. So I'm trying to think who I'm going to send us over to. I'll end the video. Bye, YouTube. I'll see you guys probably tomorrow. Whenever this part is uploaded, next day. See ya.